Good morning, everyone. I'm just showing you what my backyard looks like from my deck, and then I'm pointing to the two entrances to my garden that is planted down the cliff back behind there. And we did add on to the chicken coop there. I wanted an area that wasn't covered so that it would grow grass and they could be out in the rain if they wanted to be. So I'm just standing at the top, kind of overlooking. It's kind of hard the way my garden is set up to show you all exactly how it looks, but this is it from above. So this is just like a very steep hill, and I've built garden beds down the side of it. Well, my husband did. Good morning, everyone. So I'm headed down to the bottom of the garden here. It is September 9th, and it's been a while since I've done a garden tour, so there's a lot of fun things I want to show you, so we're gonna do that today. I didn't get a chance to do an August garden tour. It was just super busy, lots of stuff to do. I did a lot of canning, and since I didn't do one in August, a lot has changed. Lots of stuff I got to update you on, so let's just go ahead and get going with it. My name is Jen, and I garden in Zone 7 in Mineral County, West Virginia. And if you're new here, I garden down the side of a cliff. So my husband has built me garden beds all down the side of this hill, and that's what I garden in. It's not the easiest thing to do, but I make it work. Got my basket here, and we are going to probably be harvesting some things. But we're going to start over here. Let me go to the very end of the garden. So one of the things that's changed is this was completely enclosed, but my husband kind of made me a little gateway here. I just take this off and I slip this out from that little metal holder, and that way I can wheelbarrow out dirt, because I'm working on a couple more beds right there, and I got to get the dirt out of it so that I can put good dirt, because this is all shale. It's just rocks and not good, healthy gardening soil. So I have to move that so I can add good dirt into the beds. A lot of work, but this is what I'm passionate about, so the work doesn't bother me. Okay, first thing, over here in the potato bed, I did harvest. I haven't edited that video yet. I am slacking on that, but I did record harvesting the potato bed, and then this is actually the second planting of potatoes. This is the first year that I've planted a fall crop, so we're gonna see how that does. Couple different varieties that I've ever tried before. This one right here didn't do too well, it doesn't look like, but we'll see what we get from it. But I need to hill these up. That right there, I think is supposed to be an Iran squash. It was up there on the hill right there, and it actually broke off and rolled down, so I need to grab it because it's obviously ready to be harvested. I'm thankful that the net there caught it. So it came up, that plant came up out of the bed and started to grow through here, and it's the only pumpkin that I got from it. So, and I only planted a couple, and one germinated, and that's all I got from it. I had another, what was it, sweet potato squash, or no, sweet meat, that one that's growing over that bed. And I got one other one inside the house, I'll show you it. And then there's another one, it broke off. It's fine, and it's laying there, so I need to harvest it. So let's go ahead and grab those. I saw a acorn squash that had grown over this bed, and I was trying to get up to it to grab it, but as you can see, this hill is pretty steep, and while I was there I saw some, it's called Virginia creeper, and I decided to pull it. I still have a few vines that still keep trying to grow because I haven't quite finished this hill with the garden beds, but I decided, well, if I pull this down, the acorn squash will come with it, but no such luck. But I just went ahead and pulled that out. And I just got up into the bed later on and reached over and grabbed the acorn squash that had grown over the side of that garden bed wall. So I did end up harvesting it, just not right there. See another acorn squash right there. I don't know how I'm going to get it though. Guess maybe we'll just wait till it breaks off the vine and rolls down the hill. Coming in, there's the potato patch, and if I turn around here, coming in, this is my arched walkway. It has arches all the way to the other side. And first off, on this archway is, or on this arch trellis is my apple gourd. This is one plant that just is going strong. And I'll say this. I have quite the issue with pollinators. So next year my goal is to plant lots of flowers, lots of plants that the pollinators will love. I need to bring in the pollinators because I feel like this apple gourd plant would have been loaded with gourds because it had so many flowers on it, but the pollinators haven't found this place yet. They really need to. But so my goal next year is to do that. But I did get a few gourds, and the plant is still going strong, and I actually have, some new ones still starting. So hopefully they have enough time to mature before the frost. There's another one. There's another one right up there. At first I thought I was only going to get 3, but you can see like a lot of these, maybe the pollinators found it. I don't know. Oh, there's another one. So I might get some more off of this plant, but it had so many flowers on it before. Oh, this one might do something too. But I've got 4 mature ones already. 1, 2, 3, 4. So those will definitely make some really cool. Oh, there's another one over there. I didn't even see that. Cool, cool, cool. And then on this trellis, I planted a loofah gourd. I planted 2 of them. They're both still going strong, but same thing again. I've only got 1, 2, 3, 4 mature ones. They're actually starting to turn. I don't know if you can see. They're squishy and starting to brown up a bit, and they'll dry out. But then I've also got, this one's a new one. It's still green. That one's a new one. I'm getting a couple more new ones on here. But other YouTube channels I watch, they always have like a ton of loofahs on their plants. So I got to get the pollinators in here somehow. Okay, big update on the tomato rows. Let me walk around here and I'll show you. So when we went away for vacation, we had a really big heat wave in like the mid-90s. The entire time we were gone. It was actually, we went to Florida and it was actually nicer weather there than it was here. But my tomato plants really suffered. And the only thing that looks good on these trellises is the apple gourd that's trying to make its way over here. But these are gonna get pulled out today. And then I'm going to replant cabbages and kohlrabi and kales and just whatever I can plant in here. There's still a couple of green tomatoes, but I'm probably just going to pull them from the vine green. But there's not many. And the ones that are on there, they don't look so great. We had a ton of rain the past few days. My bean trellis, it was gorgeous for the longest time, and now all the beans, this is the year of saving seeds. So all these beans I'm going to pull down, and I'm going to save the seeds from them and save some for planting next year, and then also I'm going to put some in some soup. So these were my asparagus beans, and this is about when you want to harvest them. Because of all the rain, they're starting to look a little rough, but they get real dried out, and then you can feel the bean inside. And, oop, where did it go? There it is. Little beans like that. Pepper bed is still doing its thing. Didn't do as great as I would have liked, but I actually think that the soil in here there wasn't enough nutrition for it, but so I might place the pepper bed somewhere else. As you can see, I've let my okra go to seed there. They're far too big for eating. This nasturtium is looking lovely. And I've gotten a couple of Benny Kadima melons from this plant here. I've got one more. It doesn't feel like it was pollinated. It kind of... Pumpkin plant. I mean, it went crazy. It was all over this. It's not doing so great now. But this is all I got from it. This one little pumpkin. So I'm a little disappointed in that. But, you know, one is one. This over here is supposed to be the same thing, but it's a little bit of a different shape. So I guess that counts as two. And then there's some purple beans on here I'm letting dry out because I want to save the seeds from those. There's some stuff here. I'm not really... These were green beans. I wonder if they're any good. Oh yeah, they're good. I don't know if y'all remember that one squash plant in this bed right here. It just took forever to get going. Like, I planted this thing beginning of June, end of May, and it did nothing. It did nothing. There was a few of them here, and I just didn't think, something kept digging them up. But look, I've gotten a couple squash off of it, and then there's a couple more. This is the scalloped yellow bush squash. Okay, if you're wondering what this is, if you have an issue with growing squash because of squash bugs, I implore you to try the Tromboncino. I'll put the name of it up here. It's this squash right here. This I need to harvest. It's getting a little too big. But I planted, I think, 4 of them right here. And parts of the plant don't look so hot, but it is the plant that will not stop going. This is it over here, and it's going all the way over here. It's climbed up under the steps. So this is what it looks like whenever they don't get pollinated. So this one didn't get pollinated, and that's why it had that browned end. So this one wouldn't be good. But there's one under there's one under the steps, and I can't get to it. There's another one that didn't get pollinated. So you see, I would have had squash. So much squash coming out of my ears if I would have pollinators in here. But I get about 3 to 4 of these a week, which isn't bad. But if you look at it, here it is here. And it keeps going, and it keeps going, and it keeps going, and it's into my sweet potato patch. So it is. Here's some more. I hope these get pollinated. But there it is going over there. It's all up in this bed. Oh, there's one over there, it looks like. That one's pollinated, yay. But this is super exciting. Look at this sweet potato patch. So it's going over here. It's climbing over here into the walkway, all up in those I mean, it's covering I used to be able to wheelbarrow dirt down through here. I had a little path. I would come down through here and bring it around and take it there to fill up the beds, which I feel like they need to be topped off again. But I'm not going to be able to do that until I can harvest these sweet potatoes, which might be soon. I'm going to show you. I'm a little bit scared to get up in here. But look, they're starting to poke out of the ground. And that's nothing. Where's the one I saw yesterday? It was like, it's hard to maneuver around all this stuff. Here it is. I need to get this one covered. But look, this thing is huge. It's huge. And there's one over there that's huge. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited. They're coming up out of the ground everywhere. My berry patches are doing fantastic. I'm getting lots of berries from them. They are so yummy. Some of these are, there's a bee. Delicious. Oh gosh, they are so good. I have a favorite variety though. So these are all pretty much the same. I'm going to take you up and show you the variety that I really like. So I have a berry bed there, and then a berry bed above that, and then I have some berries planted around the outside up top there near the hammock pergola. And in the middle bed there, I forget the variety, but it is so pretty and it is so yummy. So let's go up and I'll show you those. See the tomato plants? Oh, some of them are still trying to do something, but they are rough looking. I've got to redo this bed. Oh no, this isn't the right one. This isn't the right one. There's still a couple tomatoes that might ripen. Oh, and there's the carrots we planted with the seed tape. Getting some decent carrots. I need to harvest these so I can replant another round of them. Getting some carrots for dinner. Okay, berries. I wanted to show you these berries. Oh, asparagus plants. All right, so these aren't doing as great as that bed, which is unfortunate because I love this one. All right. Look how pretty that berry is. So that one right there is ripe. So So I gotta come down and harvest these. Hopefully, it's just, you know, not the best soil right here. But with the leaves sitting here decomposing, the soil will eventually get better. This is my asparagus bed, doing lovely. That tomato row up there, and the peppers up there did okay, but not great. I don't know. You just keep trying. There is my black Snapdragon, which it's more burgundy than black, but it's still very pretty. I'm waiting for it to go to seed because I'm going to save seeds. Saved it. Ooh! Ooh! That's a spider web. Let me see if I can just... I don't see a spider, so okay. Got a ripe tomato here. Looks like something pecked a hole in it. This is Oma's orange. It's a yummy one. This is a good one. A couple more on that plant. And then here's something interesting I wanted to show you. I did not plant corn, but this is corn nonetheless in this bed right here. I don't think I'm going to actually get any corn, but it's been fun to just let it grow and see what happens. And then there's some Swiss chard. I actually transplanted that from up around the... I had planted it around the chicken coop, but since we extended the chicken coop, I needed to move it. And I mean, it transplanted really well. I just had 3 of them and they're all surviving. This was my squash bed, and I've pulled all the squash, this one and the one behind me here. I left a couple of them that looked like they were trying to do something, like this one. I don't know if this got pollinated. It doesn't look right. But it could be because of all the rain. We'll take it inside and cut it open and see what it looks like on the inside. But I don't know. I might be pulling all these up to plant more cabbages. I just wanted to see how long they could go. But you can see vine borers. This is what they do. They just destroy the vine. But even still, this plant is trying to root itself and keep going. There's some kales I planted here that finally took off. Oh, that's a squash that got away from me. So striped zucchini, and I'm going to save the seeds from that. You can see it has turned, you know, orange like a pumpkin would, and you probably cut into that and save all the seeds. This one's still doing okay, but again, none of the flowers are getting pollinated. So, then the bed above the squash beds is the strawberry patch. Which looks like it's got, you know, there's a couple of little strawberries there. Oh my. But you can see my asparagus is still doing its thing. Pretty excited about that. Hopefully we have lots of asparagus in the next few years. because we love asparagus. Okay, and this was my carrot bed. I harvested this bed, and as you can see, I left some of them had gone to seed, and I left them, and apparently the seeds had fallen because these are all carrots. It's mostly on this side, so I'm gonna come back in because I saved the seeds from the ones that went to seed, and I'm just gonna spread them all over, and I'm just gonna regrow carrots in this bed again from all the same varieties. My kale on this side still going strong, lasted all summer. That's what I love about kale. I need to plant something in here. Don't know what. More kale. That did great all summer, even through that heat. And then this is my little area of hot peppers, which, as you can see, I do not harvest them very much. I don't know why I grow hot peppers. I think I am not going to next year, because I never eat them. I've given some away. I've saved seeds for some just to, make sure if I do find a recipe I want to use them in, that I can plant more. Here's the Sugar Rush Peach. Look at all those. This one is insanely covered, but I think these are I'm gonna take all the peppers off of them, try to give them away, and then empty this bed out besides the kale and plant more cabbages. And then this bed had a bunch of cabbages in it that didn't really do anything. They went to seed before they could. So I've just been pulling the leaves off, pulling them out slowly, giving them to the chickens, which are right there. Hi, girls. But I did get a few purple cabbages that are still trying to head up a little bit. But it might be time to harvest them, because I think, like, this one's not doing, I think this one's not doing so great. It looks a little kind of gross on the inside there. But I believe this is some sort of broccoli. And I'm trying to let it go to seed so I can save the seeds from it. All right, I'm gonna get my girls some cabbage leaves here. So this bed's gonna get cleared out too. Today, whatever's left in it is getting pulled out and taken to the chickens. Got lots of planting to do. I wanna do a lot of fall planting. But there is the garden. There's those loofah gourd and the apple gourd. Really gonna try to grow a bunch more kale. That way I have something to give to the girls all winter long. Well, I'll show you what I did in the greenhouse too. I'm working on mulching this area because I got another load of free mulch, which is awesome. I used the first load to mulch all around the bottom area there of the garden. And I'll tell you what, when you put down cardboard and then this stuff on top of it, talk about a weed suppressor. I haven't had any issues with weeds down there yet. And that place used to be insane. The walkway, I couldn't walk in it because I was so scared of stuff hiding and the overgrown weeds. And I just put cardboard down and then a big thick layer of that, and it has kept the weeds down. It's awesome. Have some more kales and stuff. I want to plant a few more things here, but I'm gonna mulch this whole walkway. Some more peppers, mints, some tomatoes in these pots, but they've kind of petered out. probably going to clean them out and again try to plant some cabbages or kohlrabi or something. Just see what I can grow in these pots in the fall. And then we'll step into the greenhouse here. So the lettuce that was back here, I need to water again. But it's already popping up again. It went to seed and I collected the seeds from it. And then I have scattered some of them here to regrow lettuce in this area. Here's the carrots. Now, I want to say, I planted these carrots back in early December of last year. And all winter, they didn't do anything, And I was just like, okay, well, that's a loss. Well, I just kept watering, and we planted in the back here some sugar snap peas along this back trellis, which I'm going to do again. They did okay, but I think they'll do better in the winter, and I'd like to see how long I can grow them into the season inside this greenhouse, which it's about time to take the shade cloth off. But these carrots have taken off, and I've been getting carrots. So, you know, sometimes you just gotta let stuff be and see what happens and be pleasantly surprised when you garden. I had a space in here that was empty, so I planted a couple of pepper plants in here, hot peppers again. I need to just not do that anymore. I think, oh shoot. So these are both jalapeno plants, and I think I'm going to try to make cowboy candy or cowgirl candy. I'm not sure what it's called, but I also planted a couple of tomato plants in here, which are still providing a tomato here or there. And then I planted in this corner some Swiss chard, which has come up. So that's that bed there. I've started stuff, and then I'm also going to direct sow stuff. Oh, I wanted to show you another bed that I started. I direct sowed cabbage in, but so I didn't do anything with this bed at all. This was a new bed my husband built me, and I just filled it and then I let it sit here. But I did plant cabbages all through here about 2 weeks ago, and I don't know whether the seeds were old or I planted them too deep because nothing came up. Sad. So I have some starts out in the front that I'm going to plant the cabbages here because I think they'll do really well here. But around the outside, I figured I'd plant around the border of it something to grow in the meantime while the cabbages get going. So right here I planted, what was this? Oh, some basil. I think this is basil I planted here because I wanted to get some more basil, and it's all popping up. And then along this side, I planted spinach. So you can see all the spinach popping up. And then on this side, I planted some cilantro. And you can see some little ones popping up. That's a weed. Get that out of there. But there's some cilantro right there. So I don't know what happened to the cabbages, but I'm going to need to replant because I wanted cabbage. In the bed behind it, I have planted a few cantaloupe plants, and I've been getting a couple of little small cantaloupes from it. I also planted cucumbers, which didn't do too well. Gotten a handful of cucumbers from it. And then some more kale. Some parsley, a nasturtium, and there's a big sunflower seed that I planted in the corner. And then back behind that is another bed, which starts down the hill, and that's where I planted the peppers and some tomatoes. Here's the little Bequino pepper. Aren't they cute? This is a hot pepper. Oh, and I did plant right here as well. Most of these tomato plants aren't doing great, so I came and I planted some sweet peas, some sugar snap peas and sugar daddies. So hopefully they'll grow up and attach to this trellis. Our peach tree has grown a ton. And then here's that other area where I have all the berries. I need to come out here and pick. Lots of harvesting to do. Just wanted to give you a little overview. So to my right is the garden that's down the cliff. And then I was showing you where the chicken coop and the fire pit area and the back of my house. I only live on half an acre, and I'm doing quite a lot with just that little amount of space. So get out there and get gardening, everyone.